Well, good Monday morning, Tesla fans. It has been quite the weekend. And as we move into earnings week, there is so much happening at Tesla that it's hard to imagine how casual owners of the stock or those who might think they should be owners of the stock can possibly keep up. Here you have a company as the world leader in electric cars, possibly the number one company, but certainly way at the top of the heap in its ability to deploy capital with huge return on invested capital historically and clearly going forward. The company has few who would disagree about its prowess in manufacturing and supply chain management, with independent sources giving Tesla a rank of 15 in supply chain efficiency among all companies. In addition, Tesla's leading in energy storage, a category that has no identifiable limit to its ultimate TAM. Then the company has more superchargers deployed by far, not even close, than any other companies. These are the known businesses of significant size. The insurance, used car resale, auto service centers, software as a service, and solar businesses are too small to even be notable yet. Then you have the semi-truck, the Cybertruck, and the Gen 3 products in various stages of ramping this year, and support products like the 4680 and lithium refining coming on stream as well. Then you have the options, the options like FSD Complete, robotaxis, Dojo as a service, HVAC, and the absolutely mind-numbingly massive option of Optimus. But the street continues to argue about how many Model Ys and Model 3s the company will ship in 2024 and at what margin. This is sensible, and that these represent a huge percentage of the current business, but nonsensical in that it doesn't take much serious study to see that this will be shortly, this SEXY cars will be an also ran as the AI and robotics climb to 90% of the business. Well, good morning. This is Randy Kirk. If you like what we do here every morning and throughout the rest of the day, we're on 3 times a day, almost every single day, then please hit like. It helps my algo. We're getting close to 20,000 subscribers. Could you be the 20,000th one? Well, hit subscribe. We're really closing in on that number, and that's supposed to be a really big breakthrough number for the business. And then hit notify, because guess what? Later this morning, you'll have one of your big favorites, Brian White, and then Larry Goldberg will be helping me in the evening bring in all the good news that happens today. And then, of course, you want to join Patreon. Please join Patreon. You can join as low at the $3 level and help support the channel that way. And then, I'm not sure whether you've bought your Cybertruck yet. $20, doesn't matter how many you buy, very hot deal. This would be a great opportunity to buy a bunch of them and hand them out all year long. All right, let's get into it. The version 12 of FSD was released to a few folks over the weekend. Some of the major players, people that have been doing the videos for years and years, those are the kind of folks that got it this weekend. So the YouTubers, some even got phone calls to let them know that it was coming and saying that it would be okay for them to do YouTubes on their drives, but that the version 12 might still have, be a little bit rough, a little buggy. But here are some of the early impressions. Adrian Dittman says, full self-driving version 12 first impressions, natural, human-like, low hesitancy, consistent speed, improved handling, no awkward moments, no takeovers, pulls over like an Elon's live stream. And then that would be Omar's trial run that he's describing. And that was in the rain. Then from Whole Mars blog, we have this. My 2 drives with FSD 12 were both 0 intervention. No accelerator presses, no speed change, no takeover, and no awkward moments. Well, that's the first 2 reports that I've seen so far. These 2 reports were kind of everywhere, but not anybody else. So we'll see what happens as the day progresses. Maybe by this evening, when Larry and I are on, we'll have more of this reporting to discuss. All right, we have an update on Reno. All right, it appears that the new building that is going up will only be for the Semi, not for batteries, not for Optimus. Now, this doesn't mean that these won't happen and happen soon in Reno. I think there's space available in the existing building. That's been my theory all along, especially because they took the battery production out of there. But the new construction will not be for these new products. It will just be for the semi-truck. Elon's issue with 25% ownership is coming up. Just lots and lots and lots of folks talking about that. Many are seeing the headlines. And so folks are putting comments in my YouTube videos and asking what in the world is going on there. Listen, nothing is going to happen until the lawsuit is settled. There's a lawsuit by several investors. I think it's 7 investors questioning Elon's previous compensation package. The board and Elon cannot move until that's done. Now, I guess the long-term question is, if Elon doesn't get 25%, is he going to pack up some of his bags and go home? Is he going to pack up all of his bags and go home? Here's what I understand. My understanding is no, Elon is not going anywhere. He is going to be an enthusiastic and excited leader of the Tesla enterprise with all of those amazing things that we just talked about in my lead. And then the question of some people saying, well, is he just going to take the robots and the AI and go and put those in a new company? He can't do that, wouldn't do that, has no interest in doing that. What he was talking about is the future as these things begin, the AI begins to get so powerful that he believes it is just could cause real massive, negative consequences. He's worried that the board of directors and or that the stockholders, given enough power, could cause Tesla to go in directions he won't approve of in terms of profits over safety. All right, that's the whole story right there. In a nutshell, there you've got it. Okay, so he's going to be working very hard to make sure that doesn't happen. There's an awful lot of people that are putting a lot of ideas on the table, barons and others who have put out suggestions and methods where Elon could feel comfortable, even if he didn't have a full 25%. And he said at the time that that's a roughly 25% holdings. Anyway, that's where we are right now. Please let me know in the comments below if you still need more illumination on that. I mean, I think that's all the illumination I have, but that's where I am right now. All right, from Barron's this morning, Morgan Stanley. Analyst Adam Jones has cut his price target on Tesla stock down to $345 this year. Okay, $345. He was at $380. Kept his buy rating, obviously, if he's at $345. So, my all-time high is not as crazy as it may seem when you've got Morgan Stanley saying that that's the number. The EV market is oversupplied, he says. Global EV momentum is stalling, writes Jonas. We anticipate Tesla's 2024 outlook to be cautious on volume and profitability. Don't agree. Think he's completely wrong. Maybe I'll take later this week, I'll do an essay on where the global markets are headed, why I think it's going to be going up another 50% this year. Some are saying 40. I'll have a quick note on that in a minute. Anyway, Jonas goes on to say, tough sledding for EVs, but we remain buy rated on AI and robotics optionality, added the analyst in his report. Optionality means that Tesla has a lot of potential with its new businesses tied to AI-trained cars and labor-saving robots. Then the Jeff Lutz puts out this note, actually gives us a copy of an article. S&P Global Mobility expects this trend of growth to continue into next year. In a recent report, the firm forecasts that global sales of BEVs specifically will experience nearly 40% year-over-year growth in 2024, jumping to claim 16.2 market share worldwide by the end of the year. I think it'll be even bigger than that. I think it's going to be closer to 20%. I think anyway, that's just me. And again, I may do a complete report on this later. S&P predicted that in China, BEV sales will make up 28.6 of the total vehicle market, and in the US, BEVs will make up 13.2% of the vehicles, representing a 66% year-over-year growth in the United States. That would shock me, okay? So I think it'll be bigger in Europe, bigger in China than maybe S&P thinks, but I think it'll be closer to the 50% growth rate in the United States. All right. Netflix, AT&T, Lockheed Martin, and Visa are the major companies reporting earnings this week. And with 20% of the S&P reporting so far, 85% are beating. Now, that might seem like a big number to some who don't pay attention to these things, but it's actually just a little bit light. We should know later this week, however, the real trends. By the midweek, certainly by the end of the week, we'll really know what the trend is with the S&P. What I haven't seen yet is what are the guidances looking like? Are the guidances beating? That would be a real question to know. Let's take a look at the market. Well, Tesla has now jumped up $2.48 or 1.17. It is now a percent. It is now in its normal and maybe even a little stronger delta than against the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ, well, and it just dropped a bunch. Anyway, you can't make this up, right? As I'm speaking even. And anyway, the NASDAQ is up 0.7. The Dow Jones is up 0.47, S&P up 0.51, and Tesla is up just a little over 1% right at this exact moment. You've got the Magnificent Seven mixed, with Amazon slightly down, Microsoft down a little, and then the rest of them are up in varying degrees, but nobody anymore. Well, we got Apple a little bit higher. I guess Apple's numbers were pretty good on their new product. I forget what the heck they call the thing. Anyway, and then we've got the Cathie Wood stocks are all up nicely this morning. Why do you think that is? Could we make a prediction right now as to what we're going to find out when we take a look at what's going on with the bond market? Okay, here we go. And the bonds, the 10 years are down 5.5 basis points. There you go. I mean, I'm sorry, the yields are down 5.5 basis points. Almost, so the 7-year, 5-year, also 3-year down 4 basis points, 2-year down almost 3 basis points. But the short-termers are up slightly this morning. Gosh, what a shock. All right, let's go on and take a look at oil. We have got the oils this morning. We got oil is up $1, but still right kind of at the leading edge now of the trading range has been in recently from 70 to 75, right? It's sitting at 74.42. We've got Brent up, not as much as Texas Intermediate, continuing to close that gap back down to kind of the normal range of $3 between them. We've got natural gas down another 4.5% this morning, sitting at 2.4. We have gold dropping another $7, getting closer and closer to that 2000 range, but it's still at 2021. We've got copper down 0.67%, continuing that trend. We have the dollar about even, off just a little maybe this morning. We've got the Bitcoin down another 1,000 points at 40,620. This is surprising a lot of Bitcoin folks that it is down so much after the ETF, but it's been trending this way all week. I don't know anything about it. Remember, I'm a novice. I'm not even a novice. I know this. I know. Can you get a small enough? Anyway, so let's see. Let's go back. I don't think I did justice to the overall market just a minute ago because I didn't give you the dollars. So the Dow Jones is up 200. I mean, the points. The Dow Jones is up 205, NASDAQ up 112, S&P up 26, and right now Tesla is up $2.72. All right, so as mentioned earlier, I'd like you to like and subscribe and notify. As mentioned earlier, I've got Larry Goldberg tonight. I've got Brian White coming in a few hours. And then yesterday, I had a video with Scott Walter that if you missed it, go back and take a look at it. I'm going to put a card right up here. We talked about where everything is right now with regard to figure robotics, with regard to some reporting over the weekend And it's an amazing video. It looks like it's going to be the #2 video that the channel has ever had. We've had over 700 videos in the last year, and this looks like it will be #2. Guess what was #1? Another Scout Walter video that went to 50,000 plus views. This one's already over 20,000 and looking like it will end up being #2 for all time. So remember, you want to go take a look at that one. Of course, I want you to join Patreon. Please let me just say again, right now at this time of year, it's very hard to make a living on YouTube because the advertisers are not willing to pay as much. It's an auction system, and because there's not as many advertisers, you can pay less to get your advertising done this time of year. Well, that means they're paying me less. It's about 30% less. It's normally I was up around $9 per thousand, and now it's down to around $7 per thousand. So I really could use the help from Patreon. Maybe if it's only for the first quarter, jump in at the $3 level. The $5 level, of course, you get a free book, a free ebook. You can get either the Elon Musk Method or the Elon Musk Mission, or you could even get one of my other books like the Making Money Out of Thin Air, or my Magnus Opus that's been out now for over, well, let's see, it came out in 1993. It's in the 3rd edition right now. It is my biggest seller by far. Inc. magazine called it the best small business startup book that was on the market at the time. When Friday isn't payday, you can get that as one of your choices as well. If you join at the $10 level, you can get one of those books and a bottle opener, a Cybertruck bottle opener of both of those, one and one, or you can get 2 books, or you can get, those are the choices. Anyway, and then if you want a Cybertruck bottle opener, remember to always tell me whether you want the camouflage or whether you want the stainless. Thousands. We've actually sold thousands of those since we started selling them about 3 months ago. All right, that's all I got for you as well. Listen, I've been talking so long. There's time now to just go check. It'd be fun to take one last look. Look at this. Tesla is now up 3.24, which is 1.53%, tripling the, doubling the NASDAQ, almost exactly the normal delta. And now all, except for Microsoft, of the Magnificent Seven are up, and all of the Cathie Woods are up. This is a very strong start to the week of the 2nd week of earnings. All right, it's been great talking to you.